Have you ever stopped in to wonder why you don't just fall apart? Why doesn't your body simply dissolve into a cloud of dust and blow away in the wind? Or why the Earth stays in its perfect lane, never drifting into the freezing dark void of space? Everything you see, from the mountains to the screen in your hand, is being held together by invisible, ghostly hands. If these hands let go for even a single second, the entire universe would vanish instantly. Today, we are going inside the hidden clockwork of reality to meet the four invisible giants that run our world.
Hello and welcome. If you're new here, welcome to Amazing 5.
Look around you. You see trees swaying in the breeze, cars rushing down the highway, and the vast blue ocean meeting the sky. To us, these are just objects. But to a scientist, everything you see is matter. We are told in school that matter has three states: solid, liquid, and gas. Whether it's a heavy rock, a flowing river, or the air you breathe, it's all made of the same basic stuff. But here's the mystery. Matter cannot control itself. A pile of bricks doesn't just decide to become a house, and a cloud of gas doesn't just decide to become a star. Matter is like a puppet, and for the puppet to move, there must be a puppeteer. In our universe, that role is played by four fundamental forces. These are the laws of the Grand Architect, the rules that ensure the cosmic dance never misses a beat. Without them, the matter in our universe would be a chaotic mess, incapable of forming anything at all. The first giant, the electric glue. The first force is the one we use every single day, the electromagnetic force. You know it as the power that charges your phone or the magnetism that sticks a note to your fridge. But its true job is much more important. It is the glue of the universe. Imagine your body at a microscopic level. You are made of trillions of atoms. The reason those atoms stay stuck together instead of flying away is the electromagnetic force. Think back to the movie Avengers, Infinity War, when Thanos snaps his fingers and heroes turn into ash, drifting away into the wind. If the electromagnetic force disappeared right now, that is exactly what would happen to you. You wouldn't die a painful death. You would simply cease to exist as a solid object. Every atom in your body would lose its grip on its neighbor, and you would become nothing more than a mist of particles. This force is what gives the world its shape, its texture, and its light. The power inside the tiny. But what happens if we go even deeper? Inside every atom, there is a tiny center called a nucleus. Inside that nucleus are protons and neutrons. Now, here is where things get weird. Protons all have a positive charge. If you've ever tried to push two north ends of a magnet together, you know they hate each other. They push away with incredible power. So why doesn't the center of every atom just explode? This is where the strong nuclear force steps in. It is the strongest force in existence, but it only works over a very, very tiny distance. It acts like a cosmic superglue, holding the protons together even though they are trying to rip themselves apart. If this force were even a tiny bit weaker, atoms would never form, and there would be no oxygen, no water, and no life. Beside it sits the weak nuclear force. Don't let the name fool you. It isn't weak in a useless way. This force is the burner of the universe. It is responsible for a process called nuclear fusion. It allows the sun to burn. Without the weak force, the sun would just be a giant cold ball of gas. There would be no heat, no light, and the earth would be a frozen graveyard. The giant sculptor. Gravity. Finally, we meet the force we know best. Gravity. Compared to the others, gravity is actually a weakling. It takes an entire planet's worth of gravity just to pull a small apple to the ground. But gravity has a secret weapon. It has a massive reach. Billions of years ago, the universe was just a cloud of dust and gas. Gravity began to pull that dust together. As the pile got bigger, its gravity got stronger, pulling in more and more matter. Eventually, it became so heavy and so hot that it ignited, and our sun was born. Gravity is a greedy giant. In our solar system, the sun was so powerful that it swallowed 99.8% of all the matter available. Everything else, the Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and all the asteroids, was built from the tiny 0.2% of leftovers. We are literally living on the scraps of the sun's dinner. the master of time. But gravity does something even more mind-bending than building planets. It controls time. This is a concept called time dilation. The stronger the gravity is in a certain spot, the slower time moves there. It sounds like science fiction, but it is a proven fact. If you were to stand near a black hole, an object with gravity so strong even light cannot escape, time for you would slow down to a crawl. A few minutes for you near a black hole could be decades or even centuries for the people back on Earth. This is why scientists dream of using gravity to travel through time. When we look at these four forces, electromagnetism, the strong force, the weak force, and gravity, we realize that our universe isn't just a random collection of rocks and stars. It is a finely tuned machine. Each force is like a pillar holding up a grand cathedral. If one pillar cracks, the whole thing comes crashing down. Understanding these forces changes the way you look at the world. You aren't just a person walking on a planet, but you are a miracle of physics, held together by invisible giants dancing on a stage of gravity and light. The next time you look up at the stars, remember, you are a part of that grand invisible clockwork, and it is all working perfectly just for you.